Hi guys, it's Amy, and I wanted to touch base with you guys this afternoon and talk to you a little bit about one of the first things that you need to work on when you're starting this business. A lot of times we may decide to do it as a business right in the beginning, or we may decide after we've been using. Okay, are we there? We're here. Sorry. So in looking at one of the first steps to do when you're looking at doing this as a business, the number one thing that I would highly suggest to you is by not only knowing why you chose to do it as a business, but by looking at who your contacts are. And one of the things that we like to do is create a names list of 100 people. 100 people, that seems really daunting and overwhelming, but there's a reason why. So through the Edge Success program that we sometimes use as a great training method, they promote 4 steps to doing this business. Find, teach, enroll, and duplicate. Okay, so one of the important parts of doing this business is obviously finding people to enroll them. But I really have found personally that it's important to really master these first 3 steps. And when you've mastered them and honed in on them, then it becomes a lot easier for you to duplicate and mentor and train and lead as you find builders in doing this business. So you're going to want to work with your mentor or work with your leader and have them help you hone in on your why. Why are you doing this as a business? What are you looking for? Without a why, you can get easily off track and really find that you get kind of discouraged. But back to the 100 people. So the Edge Success method actually talks about when you've taught 45 people, typically out of the 45 people you've taught, 22 will kind of enroll and love the oils, right? And then 10 of those 22 will say they're interested in learning the business. And out of those 10 that say they're interested, usually you find about 2 or 3, sometimes even 4, that will actually do the business. Okay, so we started with 45 and we ended up with only a couple that were doing the business. So that means we want to have more than 45 because we want to make sure that we're increasing our odds of finding good quality builders. So in my experience, I'm going to just share a little bit with you in my experience of finding, which will hopefully help you to understand why 100 on your names list. And then we'll talk about a couple tools that help you in creating your names list. So in the first 2.5 years of me doing this as a business, I enrolled 115 people. 115 people may seem like a big number, but that's really only an average of 4 enrollments a month. Okay. The key to my success and anyone's success is that I was consistent. So I was teaching all the time. I was always sharing. I was very consistent. I wasn't really a superstar enroller. I would have really high months and then I would have really low months. I just was consistent in teaching. Okay. Some months I really had no enrollments, but I really just didn't get discouraged. I just kept trying to find people. And some months I would have a ton of enrollments. I think my highest was 20 something, I think, one month. But I didn't really just sit back and stop and enjoy the paycheck and go, woohoo, I'm done, right? And I just kept finding people. And some months I would have some hiccups come up in my life, and some big issues, but I would just pause on those and I would just keep going back to, finding people when everything kind of at home settled down. So where did I find those enrollments? So the first thing that you want to do is make your list of 100, okay? 100 people that you should know. And one of my favorite things to use, actually, I've seen people just sit down and write down 100 names on a list and they just jot them all down. And that's fine and great. That's a great way to start. But as a continuing resource, one of my favorite things to use is actually the Edge Success, my names list. And the reason why I like this is it allows for you to put all of your, sorry, we're trying to not get so blinded, allows for you to put all of your contact information about the person and to track where you're at in the process. Or have you shared a sample with them? Have they attended a class? Have you followed up with them? Have they been enrolled already? Have they hosted a class? And it allows for you also to put a place for any ailments that you know that you've had in contacting them or kind of just knowing them. Any samples that you may have already sent, you can log it right on here, and just kind of any notes. Maybe you think they would be great in introducing the business to. It just kind of gives you one-stop resource. And there's a couple different spaces all on one page, and then there is a back to it too. So I just literally keep my names list in my binder, and I kind of keep it alphabetical. You can see I have just the white page version of that, not the colored sheet. And then I would mark on it where I'm at, and you can tell I actually still keep my names list, and it's always in flux. I'm always working through my names list. I never stop working through my names list. If I kind of hit a place where I'm like, I need to start sharing again, I go back to my names list and go, have I talked to this person? Maybe I haven't talked to them in a long time, and I just need to reconnect and kind of reignite that friendship or that relationship that we had years ago, right? So creating your list of 100 names is where you should really start. You'll consistently work from it. So even if you're not new to doTERRA, I'll tell you honestly right now, I'm in the process of starting and adding to my names list and challenging and pushing myself to come up with another 100 names list, because I should always be adding to it and keep working from it. You should never stop. So there's a couple resources in doing that. One is www.edgeteambuilder.com. They have kind of like a memory jogger. I'm going to screen share with you guys really quickly, because there's a really great website that has a memory jogger that I really like, that I was able to download. And so this memory jogger is a great one for all network marketing, but it really just goes through how to kind of create your list, and it gives you little triggers like this one. Think about members of your family. Who do members of your family know? And add them to your list. Think about your friends and who do they know, right? It talks about the first degree of separation and the second degree of separation. And then it kind of gets even a little farther down in more detail. And I like just this memory jogger, this list one, where it just goes through your lists of your family, your friends, right? And you're putting names. Do you belong to a bowling league? Who do you play bowling with? You know, or maybe you golf regularly with people. Who do you golf? Who's your accountant? Who's your dentist, right? Do your kids have a different dentist? All of these things kind of allow for you to go through, because a lot of us will go, oh, I don't know 100 people. You would be really surprised. Former coaches, former roommates. I actually have one of my former roommates on my team. Another thing that you can look at too is who sold you things. Did you buy your truck or car from somebody? And kind of in those instances, a lot of times we can create little quick connections or relationships with those people. Do you have people that you go to for your glasses or contacts? And if you have resources there, and then I love this one. This is my favorite. Let me find the top of it. I know individuals who are ambitious, are enthusiastic, has computer and internet skills. Why would we want to function and look at those people? When we find people who have attributes that we find are important, we could definitely go towards talking to them about the business opportunity. Who wants freedom, right? Who have you met on a plane? Oh, I strike up conversations with people on the plane all the time. I had a great opportunity to meet a lady who was really stressed out and give her an aroma touch hand massage on there, and really got to connect with her. Who do you know that's a massage therapist, a salesman, a repairman, a fireman? Like, this is just a complete massive memory jogger. Then it goes through who do you know in different states. And for those of you on my team in particular, I do have a member that is going on Diamond Club this year. This is huge. because then you automatically know if she's going to any states and teaching classes, who do you have there that you could invite to those Diamond Club events, because those are extra opportunities for those people to earn extra incentives for enrolling, and also allows for you to have someone teach them that is going to teach them and kind of still make sure you get the enrollership, okay? So then we get on to the next page and we're looking at other countries, and that's even more exciting. And, you know, we really know that doTERRA is all over the place. So this memory jogger, you can literally search the Ultimate Memory Jogger on Google, and you can download this. It's from a company called networkmarketingpro.com, and that page has that. So that would allow for you to utilize that if you're trying to make your 100 names list and really struggling. This would really come in handy for you. So let me get back to my big screen. Let me figure that. There we go. Hi, guys. Okay, so the very first thing I would encourage you to do is work on your 100 names list. If it ends up being on a scratch piece of paper, great. On the builder page, on my Facebook builder page, in the files section actually is a names list format, which is the one I printed out for my binder. And I would highly suggest utilizing that as I just like to be able to keep notes. When I have 2 or 3 people I've shared samples with and they've told me stories and I've reconnected, I can't always keep them all straight. So it kind of allows for me to keep notes and kind of keep it all straight. So that's why I would suggest that form. But if you got all your act together and everything, you can just do it on a regular piece of paper. But the trick is to really follow through and follow up with those people. One of the things that I also like about that form is they have a status box that you kind of mark on there. And the status is it active? Are you reconnecting with them? Maybe your first connection with them is not about oils. It's just truly just, hey, how have you been? What you been up to? That kind of thing. And just creating that rapport and that relationship again. And we're going to go over in the next video some scripts that you could use in looking in recontacting and connecting and in sharing samples and things like that. They also have a status for it's a cold contact, like you're totally going at them cold and you can't reach them, or maybe they're not interested. Now, one of the things that I want to remind you, this is kind of important, is no one really ever gets crossed off your names list, okay? Even if they're on your list and as you connect with them and you talk with them and you discover that they've already enrolled and they're enrolled under somebody else, that's okay. Be a great example to them and in what doTERRA is. If you have a closer connection with them than the person who enrolled them and they feel more comfortable asking you questions and learning from you, then be that for them, because that's what we would want for some other people that have enrolled under us, that maybe they have another connection with somebody else that's closer, but they're still on our team and someone else is kind of mentoring them. We want to foster that kind of community where we just help and support everyone and love on them. Now, I'm not saying give them a ton of your free samples and go out and teach them if you're not going to benefit from the class. But I am saying, definitely be there as a support and an opportunity to learn, as long as it's not going to cost you anything extra out of your pocket. So even still, those people don't necessarily get crossed off my list. What I have found in fostering those relationships and things like that is a lot of times people will bring their friends to me. They would say, well, I'm enrolled under somebody else, but they're not really helping me. I get more help from you, and so I would rather have my friend enroll under you than enroll under the person I'm under. So just keep that relationship open with that person, because you never know what contacts or connections they can offer and foster. So that's one perspective to keep in mind. And then just the only reason I ever cross anybody off my names list is if they are adamant, please leave me alone. Don't ask me about oils ever again. I don't want to talk to you about oils. My number one concern with all of my friends on my names list is always my friendship, and my relationship with them is always more important. And I'm very sure to let them know that. I never want to lose a friend over oils. It's not anything that is ever worth it for me. So in fostering that and appreciating that relationship and taking care of that relationship, I have found that I can usually get people to kind of not get so frustrated with me if I keep asking or bringing them up. And I think I've only had one person literally say, I will never do essential oils. And that's out of 4 years of doing this business. So consider that. You never really want to cross anybody off. If you've shared samples and the samples didn't work, then we resample, right? And we try to get them to a class, and we kind of keep learning. There is a great percentage and ratio, and I wish I had it right on hand. But one of the things that they talk about is most people, before they commit to something like this is a big change. Using oils for your family's wellness and health is a big change. So consider that. There's a lot of people that won't jump right in. Obviously some do, but not everybody will. So when you're talking to them, it's going to take more than one sample. They have to have that experience that you had that made you realize that oils were the way you wanted to go. And so keep that friendship, keep sampling, not to the point where they're mooching off of you, but really helping them to find their one oil that's going to really help them have their wow experience. And when they've had that, usually it's a lot easier to get them to a class and get them enrolled once you've had that wow, or even get them ready to start the business. So the number one place to start after you've worked with your why, with your mentor, and kind of figuring out why you're doing this business is your names list of 100 names. And this should be something that you're continually working on in your business. Don't forget, you can use the Edge Team Builder website as a resource for a jogger for your memory, or the Ultimate Memory Jogger that I showed you earlier. And I highly recommend using some sort of format for easy tracking for your names list, and not just a scratch paper, but it's everyone's preference. Just find what works for you and then stay consistent on it. And we will go into more details and scripts on the next video, and I hope you guys are doing good. And if anything, just start your names list. Once you have your names list, it's very easy to go forward after that. So 100 names on the paper, and that's the number one way to start. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.